You were never really romantic.
Charlotte and I dated years ago when we were at school. We used to run around the playground, and she used to come back to mine, and we used to play video games.
Where do we begin? Fair enough. This relationship happened a very long time ago, pretty much when you were kids. And by the sounds of it, it was a time when intimacy wasn't a thing for you because you was obviously both too young at the time. Which, listen, by all means necessary means technically speaking, you two were just friends. You know, because really and truly, who looks back at their little boyfriend and girlfriends back when they were in primary school or middle school, whatever you call it, and there was never actually any kind of like kissing and stuff. Really and truly, that was just, you know, pretending, really and truly, right? No disrespect to any of the little... That sounds so weird. I was gonna say no disrespect to the little girls that I used to... Cut, retake. Okay, relax. No disrespect to the girls that when we were in primary school, at the time that calling our boyfriend and girlfriend, the reality is I'm pretty sure none of us look back and say, hey, that was my boyfriend. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, but nonetheless though, here's the thing. Kathleen isn't going to be happy with it, potentially. I mean, look at it this way. Usually speaking on 90 Day Fiancé, they don't drop information for the sake of it. Usually they drop it because, well, it's going to have an impact at some point. And because right now we know that a part of Jamie's storyline is given the fact that he had cheated on Kathleen based on how she sees things, well, this little gem coming out is something that I can see potentially being a factor in the future. But I guess we'll have to wait and find out. But with that being said, though, let's carry on.
What does this woman want? What do you think romance is?
Using sweet words like love, honey.
That's a very good question, though, isn't it? What is romance to people, you know? And I think it's a very subjective question because it really depends on the people involved. Because generally speaking, if you ask me what's romance, I would say that it's not the things that you say, it's the things that you do. Not the things that you say, it's the things that you plan, okay? That's what I would predominantly say. But at the same time, though, no, I stick by them. At first, I thought maybe that's just based on my primary love language, which I'm not going to say now, but if I say it, somebody may try and DM me and say, hey, so, Madzie, what's going on? But the point is this, right? Romance, in my opinion, is what you do for your partner. How you show them that you're interested in them. Okay, how you show them that you want them, you love them, all that kind of stuff. For example, let's get into it, actually.
You know about her that somebody that walked into her life tomorrow wouldn't know.
Karaoke, and I'm just thinking what else she likes.
The fact that he doesn't even know what else she likes, to be honest with you, right now, the conversation shouldn't even be about romance. It should be about trying to find out what she actually likes.
What she does for me, like love letters, and she'll just give it to me in an envelope and say, open it on the plane, open it on the plane.
If she's displaying her love to you in this way, it might be that she would appreciate something like that in return.
So here's the thing. Despite the fact that the woman who he's speaking to is saying the truth, that Kathleen may be displaying love to him the way he likes, the way she likes to receive it, this is one of the common errors in relationships. There's a thing that people don't understand about love languages, because generally speaking, when you go for a therapist around relationships, even if you're a couples therapy session, and this is quite interesting because these are things that aren't always necessarily directly said from my understanding, but literally, this is literally the most simplest thing to why you and your partner may not be working right now, and why you may have clashes when it comes to appreciating each other's love. Because when it comes to love languages, you are supposed to treat your partner based on their love language, not based on your own. If Kathleen is treating him based on hers, to be fair, for their situation is a bit different because you see, she's dealing with Jamie. Jamie is still... yeah, if you dig what I'm saying. So, because he's away with the fairies for the most part, okay? I guess it's kind of a different situation. So I guess Kathleen's in a situation where she may have to display love the way she wants it, rather than the way Jamie wants it, because really and truly, Jamie is just a simple man where she knows that all you got to do is basically mother him and he's going to be happy. Because obviously his mother has done a lot of things for him. So you could say that maybe his language is acts of service. And to be fair, she already knows that when it comes to her and Jamie, she's going to be able to always, you know, be there and do these things for him, because those are the things that she's already expressed that she wants to do. But Jamie, being the moron he is, he's saying, in that case, I'll have two wives. You and my mum. You freaking creep. Point being is that if you are in a relationship where you find that you are showing your love for your partner or your care, whatever it is for that person, right, based on your love language, I'm telling you right now, your relationship is not as healthy as you think. Because in reality, you're supposed to have that conversation and say, hey, this is how I want to be loved. This is how I want to be appreciated. This is how I want to be taken care of. Okay. These are my love languages. Okay. Usually you focus more on the top two. You know what I mean? Maybe even the third one if necessary, but usually it's the top two. This is how I want to receive it. You see what I'm saying? And therefore they take the same thing, and then you start to give each other that energy. And this is a very key thing. The moment that you find out what your partner's love languages are and what order they're in, if you know that these are things that you generally cannot do, then maybe that person may not be for you. Because to be honest with you, there are certain people in this life where they can only realistically be with someone who shares the same love language as them. Because generally it's easier and it's more convenient and it's a lot less work to do mentally. But then there's some people who can adapt. Do you see what I'm saying? It really depends on who you are. And to be fair, it would have been cool if that was added into this conversation, but I get it. They only have a certain amount of time on screen and they've got to put in what they've got to put in, especially given the fact that it is all entertainment. They have to obviously, produce it in a certain way. But I thought I'd just drop you some gems here in case you didn't know. But we continue.
I've just had a light bulb moment, and I think to myself, darling Kathleen, I feel like I'm in a library. I want to know all about you. You are my sugar in a coffee. You're sweet and scrumptious. So please let me inside you. Please let me inside.
I'm not gonna lie to you, given the fact that the poem is it's very Jamie. If it was me and I wrote that poem in and then I accidentally wrote inside you, I'm gonna lie to you, I would have ran with that. I'd be like, yeah, girl, I would have been inside of you, I would have made pure banter out of that. Despite the fact that it probably would have gone south. But then again, though, I know if I banter it off, I'll get away with it because I'm very good at that, to be fair with you. Yeah, smooth criminal. Nonetheless, though, let's continue with Jamie's amazing poem.
As I want to be your fire extinguisher. So please let me off the hook, as I want to study you like a book. Like a coffee missing its coffee beans. Love you.
Here's the thing. We know that for Kathleen, one of her strengths is being able to write a poem for him. Or a love letter for him, whatever. Well, we now know that one of Jamie's strengths is not to write one back. So therefore, Jamie needs to find out something else that he can do for Kathleen that is more in his area. So therefore, she can be more satisfied. But that doesn't mean that she can't at least appreciate his efforts. Listen, Jamie, I'm going to tell you what, yeah? C for effort. No, I'm giving you A. No, I'm giving you a B because, boy, the wording was, yeah. But for me personally, it wasn't even what you said. It was the delivery. The delivery was shocking. There was no passion. There was no energy. There was no oomph in it. You see what I'm saying? Literally, it felt like I was in a classroom back in primary school and you're listening to someone else read a book and they can't really read it properly. But they're reading it properly. But they're not really feeling the words. You see what I'm saying? Feel the words. He wasn't feeling them. So that's why I give you a C. You know what? To be fair, now I should really give you a D. Forget it. I'm giving you a D, to be fair. Yeah, I'm actually offended. As a passionate person, I'm offended. If I wasn't a passionate person, then I could care less. But we continue.
I was nervous. I was so nervous about it because I want it to be romantic for you.
And then she literally shuts him down and says, it's not romantic. You know what, Jamie? You tried. You could always try again. But my opinion is find out, most importantly, other things that she likes and try and figure out those things that you like, those things that you know that you can do on a consistent level. Okay? Not on a good level, not on a great, on a consistent level, because really and truly, consistency is always key to making sure our partner always feels reassured that we want them. You see what I'm saying? You can do so many things that are great for them, but if it's not consistent, to be honest with you, it's going to be forgotten. Trust me, especially those times when you're having arguments. Yeah, so if you're consistent, well, you might even at the blows the times when you have conflicts. But really and truly, you should not be having arguments in relationships anyway. But we continue on to the next couple.
I don't do exercise, I do extra fries.
No comment.
I hate it. I feel freezing, I'm pissed off, I've got a salty mouth of all this sea spray. When I ask the question to Ali, why are you coming to England? It's always because there's a better life there, there's more money there, because I like England. The first word out of his mouth isn't because you're there.
I'm not gonna lie to you, if I was Ali, do you know what question that I would ask? I'll tell you what question I would ask. First and foremost, actually, yeah, no, this links to what I was saying. Why are you never happy? Look at it this way. She will happily insult herself when it comes to her own health. You know, I don't do da-da-da, I do fat fries. Was that necessary? It wasn't necessary. But obviously, clearly it's a projection. You know, if you ask me, it's a projection. Do you see what I'm saying, okay? And Unless, of course, she's satisfied with that type of lifestyle, then I guess it's a different conversation, right? But if you ask me personally, she's always moaning. And she's always moaning because, in my opinion, she's not happy in life. You know, she's obviously not happy with, you know, I guess, walking outside in the wind, you know, because, you know, she likes certain things instead. And also on top of that, she's not happy with the fact that no matter what Ali says, she's never satisfied with his answers because her friend told her that he's potentially using you and told her obviously her own experiences. So now everything that she does is always on edge. And I find that so freaking irritating because why keep spending your money to go and see this man if you are not secure that this man is with you for the right reasons? If you are not secure in your relationship, why are you working these overtime hours and complaining about that you're working overtime hours to get the 5K if right now you're not even enjoying the process? If you truly love this man or want this man or feel like he wants you, do the goddamn thing in silence and just enjoy the freaking journey and then wait for you to reap the rewards. The rewards is, of course, getting him to the UK. But at the same time, though, is she wrong to be expressing her concerns about Ali's intentions? No, she's not wrong. She's not wrong. It's just the energy, the way she's going about it. It ain't cool. It's very ugh. And I don't mean to her. If you know, you know. Yeah, but we continue.
The unemployment rate, like, where I am is like so high.
Yeah, it's good.
But it's not good. You're not understanding.
No, you know, what do you not understand? You know, because I can do everything. Like, I mean...
Like, that's fine.
Your people lazy, darling. Your people is not doing lots of things.
Here's the thing, you know, I do like the fact that she is actually educating him on the fact that, hey, in Newcastle, employment rates are very low and therefore job opportunities aren't great. Obviously, Ali's whole thing is that, but that's because people are lazy, which, listen, at the same time, though, there is a level of truth to that because there are jobs available. It's just that the jobs available are the jobs that I guess most Brits just don't want to do. And when I say Brits, I'm talking about people that are generally like, you know, British, you know what I'm saying, okay? Not necessarily someone like me who obviously moved here and then became British, if you dig what I'm saying. But, and that's why, of course, when Brexit happened, well, a lot of things changed because the people that were doing the jobs that the Brits didn't want to do, well, those jobs end up becoming quite vacant. And now things are definitely different in terms of how clean this country is, if you know what I'm saying, amongst other things, you know. But either way, though, either way, I like the fact that she's educating him, even though she's educating him because I do feel like she's only saying it more because she's trying to scare him away or at least trying to get him to understand that, hey, if you're coming to the UK, you better be coming from me only because trust me when I tell you, you're not going to get these results that you're looking for. So I understand the tactic. I get the tactic, what she's doing, do you know what I mean? Because really and truly, she keeps asking questions and each time she asks him questions, well, guess what? She keeps getting zoot out of him, or at least the repetition of the same freaking answer. So I get the motive, I get the angle she's going for. But either way, though, let's continue.
But I'm fucking Turkey and I do the lots of things.
Yes, you might get more money for the same job you do in Turkey, but the cost of living probably works out the same. So although England looks better on paper, it's not.
No lies told, but then again, I would say this though, because for me personally, you know, I'm not a fan of how much people from the UK can pretty much complain about the UK. Because you see, yes, of course, there's a lot of things that are very, very, very annoying, very, very kind of very unacceptable. But at the same time, there were certain things that people complain about, and in reality, there are actually solutions around them. And that's where I will go back to what Ali says about how people are just effing lazy, and that's the grand scheme of it. Some people just find it easier to complain rather than to actually do something about it. But I will say in this situation, Sam isn't necessarily complaining. She's literally just educating him on what she knows, which is, listen, respectfully, I like that part, you know what I mean? Even though she has an alternative, well, I believe that she's got an ulterior motive behind it, but I get it. But we continue.
I didn't realise what he was leaving behind. It's just hit me like a ton of bricks. Why would he leave all of his mates behind if he wasn't just coming for me?
Isn't it sad?
So, because she finds out that one of his friends is basically very upset that Ali's leaving, she then now all of a sudden does a quick 360 and is like, oh crap, hold on a minute. His friends are sad. Maybe he's leaving for me. Oh, I didn't think of this. Just because his friends are sad that he's leaving, it still doesn't mean that he's leaving just for you. That doesn't change, to be honest with you, dearie. You see what I'm saying? But I guess at the end of the day, she was looking for a little, I guess she was looking for something, something to just to hold on to, just to hang on to, something that was going to give her that, you know what, he's with me for me. And I guess that's what it was, seeing the friend be sad about it. And in that case, I guess the friend has done Ali a big favor, because for me, myself in particular, despite the fact that somebody said last week that Turkish men are known for liking plus size women, I am still not convinced that he's with her for the right reasons, because a lot of the times when he's speaking, a lot of the things that he says, just like Sam's always expressing, is more around money and work and less about Sam herself in particular. So yeah, when somebody talks about certain things more than you, that should be telling you something. Open your ears to that, you know what I'm saying? Nonetheless, let's move on to the next couple.
What if he moves to Thailand and then you go back to your child's dad? Like,
I transfer Nui money every week. I make sure they've got a roof over their head, they've got a brand new car.
I'm just a bit...
To be honest with you, I understand the sister wanting to question Nui and, you know, to find out what her intentions are. I completely get it. But what I dislike is how the sister is ignoring that her brother has purposely put himself in this position. You know, because based on everything that he has said, he's the one that is offered to pay for pretty much everything. So really and truly, I think it's kind of annoying that the perspective that's been ignored. The perspective being ignored is that maybe your brother has gone out of his way to find a woman that he can basically buy. Because, look at it this way, each time Nui tried to have an opinion or voice in some of the episodes, he wasn't very welcome to them. It's as if he just wants her to be, submissive. Just saying. Because especially when it came to the fact that she said that she didn't want kids with him, what did he do? He put her in a freaking corner. So my point is that he's not complaining about the fact that he's having to pay for X, Y, Z. And I think that's for a reason. You see what I'm saying? Because he generally feels like, well, he can't find a woman that he likes or he needs, or a woman's going to give him what he desires, potentially in the UK. So therefore he's gone to a different country, and ironically to one of the countries that's notoriously known for men going there as part of bros for purposes. So really and truly, the question that she's asking Nui, in my opinion, I'm going to say they're quite unfair. But I just want to go back to the first one itself in particular.
What if he moves to Thailand and then you go back to your child's dad? Like,
there was no need for that question, to be honest with you. Because if that was the case, I'm pretty sure your brother would have picked up on that a long time ago. I feel like that question was such a waste of time, personally. You know, it is evident that she has decided to... It's evident that she's not with the man anymore, based on what we've seen. I know the sister doesn't know too much, but the brother's kept it quite secretive, but, yeah.
I transfer Nui money every week. I make sure they've got a roof over their head, they've got a brand new car.
I'm just a bit, like, concerned that maybe you would want him for his money.
I mean, listen, sis, I get it. Be concerned about it. Remember, your brother put himself in this position. I don't really believe it was Nui that actually really ever asked for these things, purely because usually on 90 Day Fiancé, at least from my experiences on the US versions, anytime the money has been involved, we've always seen the person from the other country asking the American person for the money. And to be fair, on the season that we had Sean and the other woman that he was with, you could see that she was asking him for money. So to be fair, usually we see them ask for money. That hasn't happened. This whole time it's all been about how he has been offering his money. So the question is, why is your brother offering her money all the time? Why is he offering to pay and buy her a new car, put a roof over her head, etc., etc., etc.? And also, for the very first time, we've even seen a scene where we've seen her with her mother, and even her mother's very, you know, like, I hope you're making the right choice, blah, blah, blah. Just see what I'm saying? It's like, there's something very genuine from Nui, in my opinion, based on other cousins we've had in the past that have come from her country. But we continue.
Her, I really love with Tony 100%. I not like just take him like for the machine ATM.
And let's be real. If a man comes in your life and he starts to offer to buy all these things, right, because maybe that's just a part of his energy, most of the time you're not going to turn that down. Especially, and to be fair, the only time you're going to turn it down is if maybe you're an independent woman who has a certain type of mindset. But even those women, to be fair, once they know a man wants them for them, to be fair, they will allow him to pay for X, Y, Z. So the bottom line is this: it's very unlikely anybody's going to turn down money. So, someone paying for, do you know what I mean? That's why I say that's the real conversation, not the conversation that the sister's trying to have.
Yep.
Tony, you don't even know what your plans are going to be, and you want to get engaged already. Have you thought this through?
Yo, I love Nui, you know.
Yeah. Can somebody tell me, does Tony give you vibes as somebody that actually loves Nui? Let me know.
You're jumping the gun. I know my brother, and I don't know if his mind's just going crazy now and he's jumping in. I'm worried. like,
I'd be worried too. That's why you should be asking your brother tough questions, not Nui.
sit down, chat with Nui, talk about all the pros and cons about the UK, about Thailand, you know, just make sure you're doing the right decision.
Well, to be honest with you, I don't think he's gonna, even if he has a conversation with her, no matter how the conversation goes, it's gonna go the result's gonna be whatever he wants. Because I promise you now, this is a man that is out here seeking something that he wants, something that he desires, and he's gonna go and get it at any means necessary. And if Nui doesn't abide by the things that he needs, he's probably gonna be like, you know what, we're done. I'm gonna go elsewhere. But the sister has a very good point though. You need to make sure you have a pros and cons conversation before you go forward, because last week he found out that she didn't want kids, and that really shocked him. And it's kind of sad because that means that he expected her to want to give him kids. The fact that he expected it is quite disrespectful, because in reality, that's something he should have really asked her, not expected from her. Because telling her that I want kids rather than asking her if she would like some more kids, nah, that ain't cool. So to be honest with you, when it comes to him even respecting Nui, I don't really think the respect levels that he has for her are really there on a high level. But we continue.
I will try to be back before 6, okay?
Yeah, you better be.
This photo shoot is way more important than making John's dinner. Today it's made me so happy, and it's reminded me why I want to be in the UK. Look.
It's funny, isn't it? The second that Sprite says being here is reminding me of why I want to be in the UK. I was like, to be fair, I don't blame him. John is hard work. You know, like, you better be back for 6. All right, calm down, boss.
I've just got home from a long day after work, and Sprite is nowhere to be seen. Because of things that have happened in the past, I do sometimes have old trust issues.
Yesterday.
The thing that is the most irritating about John's trust issues is that his trust issues started with him. He's the one that was on dating apps. He's the one that broke the trust in the first place. Such a freak. I hate people like that, you know, such hypocrites, such narcissists, like.
Yesterday was so important to me. He doesn't even ask me how the shoot went.
There we go. Instead of asking him how the shoot went, he just wants to complain because he didn't come back home at 6 to prepare him his freaking meal. Like, you see what I'm saying? He's such a me. He gives me Capricorn vibes, but we continue.
So who were you with? Who were you with?
Andrada.
And who else was there?
And models.
So a guy in the
No.
stories.
No.
Yes.
He's not there.
I saw.
So what?
It's Andrada's brother.
That is her husband.
Love it. So man was then stalking his Instagram to think, oh yeah, so that must be the brother. No, it's husband. How stupid do you feel, John? You know what, I just don't like John. Just gets on my nerves, honestly. I just really dislike the way he treats Sprite. You know, it's just it's uncalled for, it's unnecessary. He's just such a big freaking hypocrite. Like I said before, he's the one that began the cheating. He's the one that began the whole freaking breaking the trust. You know what I mean? And he's done nothing to take accountability for it. He's done nothing to try and fix anything. And even from the very moment that Sprite landed in the UK, all they ever did was things that he wanted to do, not what Sprite wanted to do. Sprite even said it himself that all we're doing is what he wants to do. He's a very uncomfortable dude.
Doesn't mean that I'm gonna sleep with them.
I'm in the kitchen the whole day at work.
Yeah.
Do you think I want to come home and cook?
When you go to work and then you're late to me and then I never complain or anything. I just understanding.
Sprite isn't listening to what I'm saying. Him justifying that he was out late because he was making connections for his work.
I'm sorry, but how is that a bad thing? Someone explain to me how that's a bad thing. His work is all about networking.
Just doesn't make sense to me.
But it's about how you treat me like shit. If you like this, I'm not gonna be here in the future for sure. And this is not the first time, this is third time, fourth time, for me, 5 or a lot.
Oh, you know what? If you don't like it, next time maybe don't even come here.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I'm actually surprised that Sprite still did come. But then again, at the same time, he probably came to the UK because he wanted to see if he could build, obviously, a business there, if there's any opportunities for him. You know what I mean? And I guess he needed to come there to find that out. So I guess he wasn't looking to miss out on the opportunity. Which, you know, I get it. I'm not saying it's right, but I get it. But then again, maybe he also had hope that their relationship could become a little bit stronger. Which I still question because he still hasn't told John that he loves him. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but, you know, we've seen the way John is always expressing himself and the way Sprite just smiles.
You say that? Yeah.
Well, then go.
Yeah, okay.
Just go.
I'm not moving to the UK to be a house bitch to cook and clean for him every day. If that is what he thinks, I'm gonna go back to Thailand and live my life.
Bro, go back to Thailand and live your life, man. Like, even if you decide to stay, don't stay because of this guy. I can't imagine what it's like to be around this guy every single day. Complaining every second. Being bossy. Only want to do what he wants to do. Never asking how your day was. How was your work? Because he's too much in his feelings about his own stupid insecurities. But he's afraid that, hey, if you start to really build a foundation for yourself in the UK, then you're going to find people who are better than him and therefore leave him because you realize that your life is better with other people. Oh, listen, if he's that insecure about the fact that Sprite might leave him because Sprite works in an industry where he might find better people or more attractive people, but then guess what, John? Leave Sprite. Because at the end of the day, you've been in a relationship where you don't feel secure, where you feel like your partner may just bounce at any given time. Guess what? It's your fault for putting yourself in this position. Just leave the guy alone. Simple as 1, 2, 3. Nonetheless though, let me know your thoughts, let me know your opinions on the matter, and we can most certainly talk about it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, peace.